Let's chat with Andrew Snorton, media correspondent for the Alpha Derby weekend. So, guys and dolls, it's your favorite girl, Khrys Styles, and having a conversation about the upcoming Alpha Derby. If you don't know what that is, just stick around because we are going to talk all about it, give you all the info, make sure you get your tickets, make sure you know where to go, and everything that's happening. Andrew, welcome, 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 welcome.
Yes. Well, first off, thank you so much for having me on your platform and to your amazing audience. I tell you what, I'm really excited to talk about our upcoming event, the Alpha Derby weekend. So, what I'll do is give a point of reference as to who the host is and a little bit behind the event.
Okay.
So, to give a point of reference, the Alphas of Atlanta is a nonprofit made up of members of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, based here in the metro Atlanta area. And we got established around 2014. And one of the things we wanted to do is come up with a signature event that a lot of organizations either weren't doing or wasn't really readily accessible. So we came up with the concept of the Alpha Derby weekend, which is a Kentucky Derby themed event for people to basically enjoy that experience and things along those lines. So how the event evolved is 2015 and 2016, it was basically a 2-day event. And because of the response that we got from the general public, in 2017, we expanded it to basically a 3-day event. Then
Yeah.
2018 was really our watershed year when we strengthened one of our programs, our kickoff event. So we actually had Dougie Fresh as our headliner for 2018. And then from there, we've been blessed to have really solid growth. In 2021, we incorporated the golf tournament piece because, as you can think back during the time of the pandemic, there were really few things that you could do.
Right.
So now here we are looking forward to April 30th through May 3rd as an entire weekend event that is open to the public. And we're, like I said, just excited and working hard on it.
Yeah, so I know that in the past couple of years, Andre Dickens, mayor of Atlanta, has come to the event and been a part. Is he an Alpha?
Now, Mayor Andre Dickens is a member of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity
Okay, okay.
Incorporated, but we are blessed that the last 2 years he's been able to attend. And so to have his presence there, along with just everybody across the board, really makes it a fun event.
So speaking of not being an Alpha, I know that your organization, Alpha Derby of Atlanta, actually has like they raise funds for other organizations. And I was looking at the list and I really thought it was commendable and great that you all sponsored and or gave monies to different Greek organizations.
Well,
So,
it's actually more than just Greek letter organizations. So part of our nonprofit, as you can figure, the proceeds that are raised from the Alpha Derby weekend go to our nonprofit. And we've been blessed, especially this year, to expand that mini grant program. So some of the foundations that we've rewarded or been able to give awards to have been somewhat connected with some of our Greek letter organizations, but this year we are excited to expand that reach. So to give people a point of reference, the nonprofits that are eligible can be based in Fulton County, DeKalb County, Gwinnett, Rockdale, Newton, Fayette, Clayton, Cobb,
so is
Douglas.
that all of all of the areas is open
Those,
to all of the areas, not
those are the areas that we look to. So we're really excited that this year we're able to leave a bigger footprint in some of those parts of the metro area. And of course, in future years, we look to continue to expand as fully as possible. We know that there are some outstanding organizations doing outstanding things that sometimes get overlooked. So we're fortunate, based on what we're able to do through this event and others, to be able to, as best as possible, at least leave something of a positive footprint, not just in one city or one county, but different counties that make up the metro Atlanta area.
yeah, okay. So our Alpha Derby event, we were talking about the golf portion of it. Now, as a African American woman and a woman in general, it's exciting to know that most of the population participating are women.
Yeah, and what I'll do is I'll use this as a bridge to talk about each part of the event.
Okay.
So April 30th's event is going to be based for our sponsors and things along those lines. So May 1st is really when the public can really be a part of things. We've been blessed every year since 2021 of incorporating the golf tournament that it's sold out every year. And we have a significant number of players and teams that are women. So if there are women out there that enjoy the game of golf, and not only the physical aspect, the mental aspect, and the networking aspect, we strongly encourage you to be a part of it. So whether you have a team of 4, a team of 2, or you're an individual player who is open to be paired with teams, the golf tournament will take place May 1st at Chapel Hills Golf Course in Douglasville, Georgia. And again, at least about a third of the players are women. So we definitely invite women and just players just to come out and have fun. Now, Friday evening,
Well,
May
wait,
1st.
before you
Okay.
move on, I have a question about that because I don't know the first thing about golf unless you put putt putt in front of it. Okay. So this event, is it open to us to just come and observe, to network, to just be a part of the festivities, or is it specifically for people who are participating in the golf portion?
That's a great question. We primarily are leaning a little bit more towards people who play, and it is a ticketed event.
Okay.
However, one of the positive things is that we always encourage is look, if you have an interest, we can direct you to different entities that we work with that can help in regards to getting a lesson or learning just how to play. So
Okay.
even if you're not able to play on the morning of May 1st, we can put you in contact, especially with some of our fellow correspondents who are in the golf culture to help be a bridge. So even
Okay.
directly or indirectly, you can be a part of what's taking place.
Okay.
Okay, so Friday evening, May 1st, is our kickoff party and concert. And as I was
Mm.
saying a little bit earlier, we've been blessed to have that evolve from where our very first kickoff was a meetup at the rooftop of the host hotel. And we had about 3 times as many people as we thought were going to come. So the Friday night kickoff is a great way to meet, greet, network. Yes, people do dance. So you have on your dancing shoes, or ladies, start off with the heels and then bring a little bag and throw on your
Of
flats.
course.
Seriously, do that, please. In previous years, like I've mentioned before, we typically get artists of classic hip hop and R&B. So in the past, we've had Dougie Fresh, we've had Big Daddy Kane, Chubb Rock. We did an ode to Atlanta with some of the different Atlanta-based artists and others. And even last year, we had Cupid the Line Dance King. So we will be announcing our performing artists by the end of the month, but we definitely have something for the ladies in mind. That's all I can say for the time being.
Oh,
We have something special that we're working on for the ladies in mind, but we will make our official announcement by the end of the month. And it
okay.
is just a
Can't wait for
great
that.
way to kick off your weekend and kick off the evening.
That sounds like fun. And yes, ladies, we all know the routine when it comes to being cute initially. And then, of course, comfort follows that because there's no way any of us are hanging out all night in those heels. So, yes, yes, ready for that. So, during this event, what comes next? Because I know there's a breakfast in there. I saw pictures of some really amazing looking food.
Yeah, so before we get to our Sunday brunch is the Saturday main event and watch party. So of course we will have the race showing. We will have some other just wonderful engaging opportunities. We do have limited vendors that are there that will have if you need to get that hat on site or things along those lines. Of course, ladies, there's the highly fashionable hat contest, which I tell you what, y'all do an amazing job in regards to the creativity and the fashion and things along those lines. And fellas,
Yes.
you know, fellas are with the fedoras and all that type of thing. But it's just a great way to spend your afternoon. And as you mentioned earlier, we have had Mayor Andre Dickens attend, other dignitaries. So it's just a great day to enjoy. And of course, as you can probably figure out, we'll have a couple of little add-ons, to build on what we've done previously. But I
Mhm.
tell you what, that is the centerpiece of the weekend, and it really, really is a fun event. And then, as you're
Yeah.
alluding to, Sunday, after all of the meet, greet, networking, and having fun, you want to make sure you have something in your system. So our Sunday brunch is taking place at our host hotel, the Grand Hyatt Buckhead. And as you've seen and looking at the gallery. We have the full spread. We do the bottomless mimosas. And it's just, and what will make the brunch even more engaging, as you asked a little bit earlier on the nonprofit end, we'll have representatives of our grant recipients out there. So that way you get a chance to meet, greet, network with them, see the work that they're doing, and there may be actual overlap. You may reach out to these nonprofits for programming or things along those lines. So we're really trying to make sure we're doing a little bit of everything and making sure things are as accessible as possible and as enjoyable as possible. And that's what makes the weekend such a fun weekend.
Yeah, and I love that. I'm looking forward to it. And I was visiting the gallery. So, ladies, if you need some hat ideas, there are pictures of what some of the ladies have worn in the past. And I know you all are going to come out there and show out. So, I'm excited to see what you bring. I don't know. I don't really consider myself a hat girl, but I may come up with something. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But looking forward to that. I do have another question about venues. So
Yes.
I was reading about some of the locations, and it may have been one in the past. Now, we don't have to have a membership to any of the places. I saw one of the locations that mentioned like members. So it's this event is open to the public though, right? We'll all be able to participate
Yes,
and
and let
attend.
me go ahead and revisit the location for each day. So Friday morning, May 1st for the golf tournament, that is a ticketed event, and that's going to be at Chapel Hills Golf Course in Douglasville.
Mhm.
Friday evening's kickoff will take place at Guardian Works right there in the city of Atlanta. And then Saturday's main event, we will be back at Guardian Works. Sunday's brunch takes place at our host hotel, the Grand Hyatt Buckhead. And again, all of these are ticketed. As long as you have a ticket, you're good to go.
Okay. And speaking of part of the tickets, I know so like I'm not from Atlanta, and so the parking and the parking fees sometimes blow my mind. I'm like, wait, well, who? So I'm just curious, do the tickets include the parking at like the hotel, or is that going to be separate?
That'll be separate, but here's the positive, especially with so of course at the golf course, there's no fees for parking. You pretty much just
Mhm.
pull up and you're good.
Mhm.
I'm not exactly sure of the fees for the parking at Guardian Works. However, parking is right there readily accessible. We also suggest, depending on where you're located, keep your rideshare options open.
Mhm.
That's another way to kind of help navigate. And then for Sunday brunch, there is parking on site at the Grand Hyatt Buckhead. That would be a separate rate unless you're staying at the host hotel. But keep in mind of the on-site as well as your rideshare options to keep things as flexible as possible.
Yeah, so speaking of the host hotel, I know that people come from almost everywhere. How far do you know that someone has traveled to participate or be a part of this weekend?
That's a great question. And I can say historically speaking, the furthest that we had someone come from was from the Caribbean, actually. And take that back, we actually had a couple from Italy come our first year of doing the event.
Sure.
Yeah. Now, in general, as I shared previously, about 1 out of 3 guests come from outside the state of Georgia. Typically, our top out of town cities include Chicago, the Washington, D.C. area, Charlotte, Orlando, Birmingham, Nashville. So obviously a lot within the region. And the blessing on that is even with some of the cities in the region, which may be a little bit closer to Louisville, a lot of those people will come to our events. So that is really a blessing and a testament to the work, of our committee, our leadership of Michael Jones and Robert Cunningham, all of our committee members, and us just basically rolling up our sleeves, putting in work, and trying to see what can we do to have a well done event, but make sure that it is as accessible as possible. So that way, whether if people come for the entire weekend, you just come for one event, you come for a combo. Um, Even with, as I mentioned earlier, our host hotel is a Grand Hyatt Buckhead, but we also have, when you visit our website and go to the travel section, we have a discount code on Delta. So we try to find creative ways for access and helping people manage things as best as they can.
Yeah. So I want to talk about your sponsors. I know that we had a chit chat about your bourbon sponsor. Is that? Is that the right?
Yeah.
I don't drink. So is it bourbon?
Yes. So to help answer your question, some of our top corporate sponsors include Woodford Reserve, which is people are probably aware that's the official bourbon served at Churchill Downs. So
Awesome.
we do have Woodford and Old Forester and a couple other related brands. We're also fortunate to have Anheuser-Busch on board. So their whole lineup of their products. Other sponsors represent the fields of health to education, to different small businesses. And on that, when people hear sponsors, they think they have to roll out a high amount. But our
Right.
sponsor packages start at $250.
Yeah.
So even a smaller business or up and coming can still have access and still get their information out, not only during the events, but on our website and other platforms. Of course, we have different sponsor levels. So the higher the level, the more perks that come
Right.
in.
Of course.
But we also want to make sure that our smaller businesses or up and coming businesses that may not be able to do things at this level can still do something at this level and still get access. So those are the things when you visit our website of alphadrweekend.com and click on the menu for sponsors,
Mhm.
the document on the left goes through all the sponsor levels. The document on the right is the prospectus, which explains who we are, what we do, why we do the event. And as another thing, the wonderful media outlets that have been kind enough to allow us access on their platforms. So, including yours for this year. So, we're really, really excited about that.
So it's not too late, or what's the latest that you can take sponsorships?
Ooh, that's a very good question. I would say, honestly, if someone is out there thinking about doing a sponsorship, I would say realistically by that third week of April.
Okay.
Because what will happen is with our sponsors, we do ask for information so we can get their info out, which would include their logo,
Yeah.
items that they're going to put in our gift bags. So to make sure we're collecting those items in as timely a manner as possible, I would say by the third week of April, if there is a business out there that has an interest in being a sponsor.
I love that. I love that. And talking to you, it's like it sounds like you live and breathe, Alpha Derby weekend. How long have you been a part of it?
Oh gosh, I don't know about living and breathing, but I will say this for most of us who are on committee have been on board since day one, since 2015.
Oh,
And we
awesome.
have added a few people. There's a few people who have been on for a certain number of years and have transitioned off. And then we've been fortunate that the people who have taken their places have done a solid job. But I've been a part of it since day one. I look at it more of an extension. And part of the reason I enjoy this is because I know the purpose.
Yeah.
Yes, it's about having a great time, a great event, all that. But what makes the event great is when we're able to go ahead and support other community organizations that may be bypassed in the grant cycle or whatever you want to call
Right.
it. That is definitely a blessing. It's a blessing to meet fellow media outlets who are doing tremendous work in their own right. And they think enough of our event to be like, we want to be a part of your event. That's a blessing. It's a blessing when it's a first time person or someone who's a veteran of our event, a first time business, or a long standing thing for people to think enough about what you're doing. You
Mhm.
don't take that lightly. So you show a measure of confidence in what you're doing, but humility and gratitude for
Right.
people that are kind enough to support you.
Partying for a purpose. Speaking of your beneficiaries, I guess you could say, how does an organization catch your attention? You know what I mean?
That's another good question. So what we did is we have our this past year, so the end of 2025, we did our grant cycle, the application cycle between October and December. And we spell out the types of work that we want to see nonprofits doing. Obviously, education is going to be key. Anything in the creative and performing arts, those cultural and enrichment experiences,
Mhm.
financial literacy, which is something, look, adults need, but we definitely want to look at those types of things. And then also health, whether it's physical or mental health. We know that they say health is wealth, but those are the key areas that we look at for any nonprofit. And of
Great.
course, we're also looking to see not only what they're doing, but who are they impacting? Are they reaching audiences where there's a clear, definitive need? And so we're grateful to every nonprofit that applied. Obviously, those decisions are challenging, they're not easy, but we try as best as possible to make the best decisions we can to leave a positive footprint and positive impact, not only just in the communities that others are serving, but the communities that we're charged to serve.
Wonderful. Give us the website so that anyone who either wants to sponsor and or find out more about the grant cycle can go to get more information.
Sure. So the website is alphaderbyweekend.com. Again, alphaderbyweekend.com. And as you noted, the best areas to navigate on the website to get a point of reference will be visiting the gallery because it provides all the photo albums from all the programming and things along those lines. Then I would go ahead and go to the sponsor tab because, again, the document on the left gives you all the sponsor levels and what they come with. The document on the right is the prospectus, which lets people know the essentials and things of that nature. After that, I would say the next place would be to go to your tickets. But when you go on the menu for tickets, the very first items you'll see will be the points for the sponsor levels. So just continue to scroll down and then you'll see all the ticket options and things of that nature. And then finally, no, I say that because some people go and they're like, oh my goodness, it's like,
That's
no,
what I was just gonna say that. One of my
yeah,
girlfriends went, she was like, "Girl, I paid $20,000." I was like, "No, no, 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 no. That's a sponsor. That's a
yeah. So when you go, yes, when you go on the ticket menu, the very first items you'll see will be the sponsor levels. Just continue to scroll down and you're good to go. And then finally, I would say travel. So again, if you're traveling from out of town, you can book through our website. And again, Delta will have a discount code for your flight, and
Ooh,
Grand Hyatt Buckhead is going to be our host hotel. And also for people that live in town, consider making it a staycation. Just a random thought, get your ticket for Saturday, spend the night Saturday night, and then Sunday roll downstairs for brunch, and then you can check
hey,
out after you eat. So
that
just
sounds
to
good.
say,
That sounds good. Um, Random question. Looking through the pictures, I saw that like there was a party happening and I saw a big Delta jet there. Where was that?
yes. So now the photos for the gallery are from last year, 2025. We were at the Delta Flight Museum last year. So any of the airplane items
Missed
that
that.
you see, especially like from Friday evening and from Saturday, that was when we were at the Delta Flight Museum. So this year, usually we rotate our venues about once every 3 years.
Mhm.
So this year we're at Guardian Works, which still affords us the
Okay.
indoor outdoor setting and allows us to put, as I say, that added positive wrinkle on what you do just to continue to heighten the experience.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much for all of the information. It was wonderful learning about the history of it and everything about the Alpha Derby weekend. Launched in 2015. Here we are in 2026. You all are making amazing strides in your 11th year. You already started planning next year, I'm sure.
Yeah, we always are. We're readily multitasking, but as I said from the beginning, we thank you and other media outlets for giving us the opportunity to share our story with your audience. Obviously, the work you're doing is tremendous, and we wish you guys
Thank
continue
you.
with the different projects you've got going on. And to your amazing audience, please continue to support this platform and be a part of our event coming up the first weekend of May, technically April 30th through May 3rd. So joining us in the winner's circle for the Alpha Derby weekend.
We will be there, the World of One Black Woman Entertainment and Dillingham Film and Photography. We're really looking forward to being a part of this. When we got your approval, it was like, oh yeah, oh yeah. So I'm shopping for a really nice hat and Vernell, I guess he's gonna find a really nice suit. I have no idea what you men do, but yes, I know what I'm gonna be doing for the weekend. So thank you for inviting us in, and we're really looking forward to this historical event. I love it. I love it.
And again, like I said before, thank you all once again. Continued, like I said before, continued well wishes with the great work that you're doing. Keep building on the wonderful things. And again, to your audience, please keep us on the radar and you're open to joining us for the Alpha Derby weekend, May 30th through, excuse me, not May 30th,
April
April
30th.
30th through May 3rd. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Look forward to seeing you join us in the winner's circle.
All righty. All right, guys and dolls, for more information, go to the Alpha Derby Weekend .org.com
.com. You're
dot
correct. Alpha.
com
Yes,
for
ma'am.
information on sponsorship, on tickets, on packages, on the events, on any and everything that you need to know about the weekend. Your favorite girl, Khrys Styles, will be in the house, and I will definitely show you what's happening if you can't make it. But we're hoping that you can. Okay? Thank you so much for your time and for your
Well, look,
information and your knowledge.
it goes both ways. Thank you guys.
April 30th through May 3rd. Get your tickets at alphaderbyweekend.com.